So that's there.
G'day, everybody. Happy Wacky Weekend to everybody in the world. Well, everyone around the world. America, UK, Australia. Hopefully everyone's doing well.
Live from Wollongong, it's Wacky Weekend.
And Toledo.
And
From one side of the world to the other.
Toledo's not alive. We're just undead.
Yeah, well, I'm dead here. I'm small dead, so
welcome to Toledo.
We'll get to that shortly. And I'm still stinking Artie. She was the last week. G'day, Hot Dog Andy. Man, I wish I could smell my ass. I think my ass would smell better than me freaking armpits. And I'll show everybody what's going on shortly. G'day, Greg. I'm sorry I can't be online today.
Not for the faint of heart.
It's all right, Greg. You ticked off the attendance sheet, so you're right. You're not wagging today. You're a good boy. John Beniti.
Oh, Rats. I got distracted. I was going to comment on his video. But
on his
video, Randall. Good video today.
Oh, okay. John Beniki, I haven't watched any of his videos. I'm so sorry. I've been bad. Randall, John Beniki, and whoever else is in the background.
Then you've missed an upload of mine. I put up like in the last week. I put up like videos.
I do sincerely apologize to everybody, including you, Anthony. I know there's Tammy and Ray that I regularly used to walk into. Randall's as well. Everybody, even in the live streams where I used to go to, I sincerely apologize. I just have not been.
These are things one does not need to apologize for.
Yeah. Mentally, I am struggling. I am literally going through hell here at the moment. And it's deja vu all over again. G'day, Ray Bertelstein. It's going around in a vicious circle. And I tell you what, right now, I just feel like beating up a lot of people, particularly insurance companies. And I'm sorry, I'm going to start off with a rant at the moment. I'm having issues with my shoulders, but I have another issue. And it's all coming back to insurance companies, workers' insurance, where they're not paying the bills and the doctors are refusing to treat people, basically. I have an ongoing issue where I'm having problems with my armpits. Still stinking Artie. It's not meant really. I mean, it was meant to as a joke, but it's not a joke. I do stink. And what I mean, I stink worse than a fish market. And that my ass will smell better than what particularly my armpits are at the moment. I cannot go out. I have not been out of, apart from going shopping, which is very embarrassing, and I'll make it quickly and hastily so people don't have to put up with my stench. I cannot go to the club up here because I will be banned from life because I stink that bad.
Right. Let's backtrack. Let me interrupt you and just backtrack so that everybody's on the same page. This all goes back to some of the shoulder surgeries they did, all based, and you've got these basically points where they went in with the surgery and they're suddenly leaking.
And it's weeping. People, this is going to be a disclaimer. If you get wheezy and whatnot, sorry, this is going to be very graphic, but I'm going to show you what I'm putting up with. G'day, Southern Cross. I'm going to show you my right armpit. And this is the worst at the moment, and it hurts like hell. Look at this. And it's weeping out of that hole. And look at that. That hurts like hell.
And you're so busy focusing on the red area, you're not seeing how bruised it is all up here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that is what I'm doing with. And I don't know
how long ago was that surgery? How long ago was that surgery? Is this the one from 2 years ago, or?
Well, the left one does it as well, but not as bad.
Right.
But it does weep as well. The right hand one's the worst. This one was done in 22, 23.
Okay, so that was the one from a couple of years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. This one first started. This one was done in 21, but this first started. And I've been telling to the doctors, it's weeping. It's weeping, and it stings, particularly during the summer months. People that have been here in Australia during the summer months, Southern Cross Trail, maybe you remember how hot and humid and stuffy it gets. And when you got particularly European blood, you sweat. But your sweat glands are down here, not up here. And where he's done the keyhole surgery, it's weeping out of there. I turned around and told the surgeon. The surgeon turns around and says, go and see your GP. I go, g'day, Zantac. I go to my GP. She goes, go back and see your surgeon. At the end of it, I'm like, I'm going to go and see send me to a skin specialist, which I went to on Thursday. He mentioned a few things that he can do. And I go, well, can you put that in writing so I can put it through the insurance and work cover? Oh, no, I can't help you. The chances of me of being able to fix it is very, very slim. In other words, and dealing with insurance companies, they don't pay. So I won't do it unless you pay for it. And I can't afford that. G'day, Tammy and Ray. Well, it must be. I can't afford it.
Yeah, and again, let's review this. I mean, you don't have to be a doctor, but you can even have some basic understanding. When you have a part of your body leaking and there is a foul smell to it, that is infection. That is not good. And the medical people are like, well, maybe go to this guy, maybe to go to that guy. And the dermatologists, they were telling you, at least what you were telling me, all they're telling you is, well, it's not a rash.
No. Yeah, well, it is an infection, but I think there's something when he went to seal it up, to close it all up. G'day, Todd, how are you? He hasn't closed it up properly. Something's gone wrong there, right?
Yep.
And it's not sealed up properly. It hasn't healed up properly, and he weeps out of it. As I said, I cannot go out. Now, there are probably some people in the US that's gone out hunting. And sometimes you do, the stench that's on this, you will smell of some animals that are not well, particularly deer. But when you open it up, it's just like, boof. It's like, it just makes you sick. That's what it's getting to the stage.
Mm-hmm.
G'day, Steve. Peace out. I think I said hello to you. So this is what's...
Hey, Dirk. And
it's not helping me mentally. Because I'm stuck at home. I can't do much at home because I'm in pain. That is creating a lot of pain. I'm back in my training room a little bit. I haven't been able to work in my training room because it's been so hot and sticky and humid. I'm really getting to a point where, and now we get into the settlement, and I don't know what's going to happen there, but I'm saying I'm going to get to the end of it. When we get settlements, I'm on my freaking own. No one's going to be paying for this. Mm-hmm. And it's all part of the accident. The insurance scheme, that legislations that we got here in Australia, is not to protect the victim like myself. It's to protect the insurance companies to stop them from paying. And when they stuff up, then stop them from paying. It doesn't protect the victim like myself. I'm the victim here. I have no enjoyment. This is the first time that I've streamed in my training room for probably since New Year. I'm going to show people how messy it is in here. Mind you, I did spend a little bit of time because I'm forcing myself in here. I don't think I'm going to fit through that gap anymore because my baby's grown that much. She got off very easy in an accident. You're right, Tammy. She walked away from it with nothing in the world. But here I am. I'm the one that's trying to save 2 people from being killed, either truck rolling over on the side or ending up in a house. People always criticize about truck drivers. And we go through hell. But when we get hurt, we never get compensated. When I sit down and work out the figures, not just this accident, just this accident itself, I'm out of pocket. I done my calculation the other day. Wage-wise, payment-wise, money-wise. Out of the wages, I am out of pocket at least $300,000 to $400,000. Man, we could buy a lot of trains for that.
You could.
I can buy a house for that. And they're trying to get away from paying. They're trying to get away from paying it. I'm not going to see a lot of day on that. No way the compensation system is working here in Australia. My previous Burns accident, I lost great more than that. I lost nearly $1.5 million in wages. Yeah, I know I'm not alone, Tabby. You guys are on the other side of the world. And the worst part is, apart from one person who is g'day Minesville, one person who is my ex, and Curly, g'day buddy, and Richard, of course, his work hours schedule is quite busy. No one's turning up. Hey, what are you doing? Or even just turning up in the blue. You know, and it gets quite hard. And I know I stink. I'm sorry, I stink. You're not going to bury my twin. It's no longer twins, Tammy. It's triplets. This last 2 weeks, I've been trying to get back in the training room, forcing myself back into it. I have been doing something here. Grandpa Rounds, how are you, JD?
Hey, JD.
So, yeah, I've lost a lot of money in this before I go on what I was doing in the training room. I'm just so over it. As a victim to this matter, and I am not faking anything. Everything is documented. Everything is on film. Everything can be shown where the problem is. I've got problems in my hands. The last thing the surgeon said when I went, the last thing the hand surgeon said, there's not much more I can do. You got to live with it. So I've got to live with, particularly my right hand, I've got to live with the stuffed hand for the rest of my life, which is going to get worse over time. My left hand's not that far back. And when the plastic surgeon or the dermatologist said that my right hand is like, it's basically going to be one of those things where I've got to live with it the rest of my life. In other words, I'm going to be cooped up in the house during the summer months because I'm going to be weeping out of that hole and I'm going to stink. G'day, Marty. How are you? Sunny Queensland. You're going to have your sunny community. You know, I might as well be in jail, you know, because okay, I've got a little bit of freedom, but I might as well be in jail. At least there you get better medical treatment. And I'm the one that's jumping through hoops. Mentally, I'm struggling mentally. Come to see a psychiatrist. Guess what? I'm getting the same issue there now with psychiatrists. Sorry, we can't see because you're on workers' comp. We don't want to deal with certain workers' comp. We don't want to deal with insurance companies. Deja vu all over again. They want to do a settlement in the next few months, but I'm going to be on my own. I'm not going to have no support whatsoever, apart from you people. But the support that I need is no longer going to be there. In this day and age, in this country, even America goes a lot of people through there. Even over there, once you get your payment, your support stops. You can hold it because we're going to need it again later in the year, Tammy. That jacket stays there for winter because I'll be coming over there during the winter months. Oh, Andy. Yeah, I know. I've never been a real quitter, even in life itself. But I tell you what, this is enough to make you want to quit. All I want to do on Thursday when I got home is just go to bed and just curl up and die. You know, so. Oh, Ray Bertelsen, I tell you what, that was the same issue with me when I had the clogged up sinus from all that dust. I knew what the problem is and issue was, and they said, "Oh, you a smoker?" Yeah. Oh, yeah. They started a similar smoking narrative, not creating what the problem, the actual drama was, the mucus that I've got in this system, which is created from a cold.
Mm-hmm.
Antibiotics fix that up. But anyway, enough of me ranting. Hopefully that's got my view ratings up. I've been a bad boy on YouTube. I haven't been really on it. I got my very first copyright strike.
Oh, did you?
Oh, yeah.
The one that comes with the 90-day warning, or just, oh, you use this, so we can't do that?
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's like the 90-day.
Okay, then it's a copyright claim.
No, it's a
copyright strike. A copyright strike, you have, if you get 2 more in 90 days, your account will be suspended.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one that
I got one once by over a photograph in one of my parody songs that was on screen for like half a second to a second. And they didn't even issue a cease and desist. It was just automatic copyright strike. I even wrote the guy, says, dude, I've had that picture for 20-some years. I picked it off of Flickr 20 years ago, and I used it in my classroom as, here's an example of a cab control car. And yeah, I had a 90-day where I had to be good. So I went 3 months without posting any video or parody songs because it was in a parody song we did.
Yeah, Ray, I'm trying to blame Attila. The cops are out looking for him. And by the way, if we do hear helicopters shortly, they've been busy since about 3-4 a.m.
So what'd you get it for anyhow? I interrupted you. What'd you get it for?
Yeah, well, I'll blame the copy strike on Attila because the helicopter has been spending more time up at Lake Heights. We've done a live stream I think it was May or March 2023, and the National Film Archives of Australia has given me a strike on it, and I used their clip on the tea and sugar train that goes across the Nullarbor. I mean, I was promoting their site in some ways too, but yeah. They gave me a copy strike on that. I mean, they didn't. I mean, I had a look at my YouTube the other day and everything was fine. And I opened up this morning just getting things ready, and I got a copyright strike. So I've been a bad boy. So with everybody else now, I've been bad. I've been gained. Oh, it's a shame that because I was trying to put it out there, that content out there. It's a shame that they gave me a copyright strike on it. And trying to tell people about their website, about their videos, because one lot of videos that I have that I really encourage people to try or to look at is they've actually got videos on how to drive a car like defensive driving in a car. And you will see a lot of old Aussie cars. And when Sydney wasn't so populated. But if a lot of people today, not just in Australia, but in America and around the world, took that attitude in driving, there won't be so many accidents. It's worthwhile having a look at it. Yeah, well, I'm going to have a look at it. Now, I have had mentioned a copyright with something with my streams, but I think I worked out what it is. It's the pictures that I'm using at the moment, and I'm going to have to change that. And that's through my intro. In time, I'm going to have to change that over. But there no seems to be a big deal over it at the moment because I can still use it. There's only what they call it, like a claim or something on it. They own it, but they don't mind me using it. I don't have to remove it as such.
Right. Well, then that won't be a copyright strike because copyright strike means it's automatic. It is, you don't do anything. They pull it down.
Yeah, they pulled it down. Okay, fair enough. I'm not going to argue if that's right. The case. I'm not going to argue with it. Do it. I try to do whatever I possibly can, and not to breach the copyright. Now there is this other guy that I've been wanting to share his videos online, and I have personally asked him. He's a guy in Austria that I've been watching before my brain went crash. Rail relaxation. He does a lot. He's got a lot of videos through Austria, Europe, around the world, and I haven't followed up on it. But he has actually got a camera mounted, basically like a driver's view, going along the lines and going along a particular section of the line. So he's done one from Stuttgart to Vienna in 2 parts.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
On 2 different trains. He's done it on the express, and then he's done it on the local. Right? I would like to share some of those videos on here, but I actually asked him before large chunk of the videos that I do share, I asked for permission before the show.
Mm-hmm.
It's either yay or nay. Barry from down here, I asked for his permission.
Hi, Brad.
Willow Creek, Industrial Spurs. Geez, I haven't seen you in here for a while. I hope you're well. I asked for his permission before I share it. There's a lot of people's content that I actually use up here, including his. I use some of his content. I normally ask for, can I use it? My very first video that I did was with Rick Bailey. He was looking at doing the tortoise motors, how he's soldering up and whatnot. I actually used part of his clip on Cinder Bounty. How are you, buddy? Yeah, they are great references, Cinder Bounty. I've actually used a lot of his references, and I can now get away using it on this layout here, where people have been talking about railways do not do that. On a lot of his videos, it shows that they do what we do on our layouts. Now, I used a few clips of Rick Bailey's on my first stream, but I asked for his permission first. If I'd normally share anything on my screen, I would ask beforehand, so I don't get the copy strike. So that one that I missed, that I didn't seek permission, he came and bit me on the backside. So in my training room, it's hot and muggy and whatnot. I don't have room for an aircon in here yet. It is cluttered with a mess again. I ain't going to change the camera. Now, I have basically got myself a control system working. I almost look like the control tower. Or the CTC Centre in Sydney, almost. But instead of the layout, the rower line being out the window, it's here inside the layout. Now, I don't know, did I mention in my last stream about my fiasco with monitors?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I've got two of the monitors in place here now. Excuse me, I've got two identical stands, which I sort of like cannonballed. Now, the system I'm on here now, I've got the laptop and two screens up above me. So if I look up like this, I'm looking at the bigger screen. And it's not hooked up yet, but I've got the touch screen up at the far corner. So let me show you guys what I have done. Ooh, look at that lovely face. I just got to work out which camera is which. Oh, look, there's my board head. As you can see, yeah, behind the monitor here, I haven't adjusted anything. As you can see, the station is all messed up. Now, sorry, it's going to be shaky again. I'm going to replace that up on. Let me show you. So this is what I've got. This is what I'm looking at. There's my monitor, and that's on the stand as well, so that can swivel. And I can make it so the tray actually gets removed, and I can work on my workbench. Okay, so I have this on here during my streams when I'm doing my stream. But I don't need to because so I'm going to be still doing my streams off my laptop at this stage until I sort out the little computer. Then I've got my two monitors here, which will be for my train automation.
Infinity and beyond.
And then if we go above my backboard head in the back corner at the door, that's where I put the touch screen.
You don't have arms long enough to reach that touch screen from there.
Well,
hey, Eric.
Being the monkey's uncle, my arms are going to gradually drag along the going to grow long enough to be able to touch it.
Well, you may say you're a monkey's uncle, but I hear the monkey's demanding DNA testing to deny relationship.
Now, the whole idea about having a touch screen over there is so I don't need a mouse, basically, to control the light. In case something goes wrong, which normally things do, all I have to do is touch the screen and do the changes on the screen. Because over in that corner there by that door is where, like when I like to sit back and enjoy watching the trains run. Of course, no trains are running because there's a lot of mess piled up at the entrance there. That monitor isn't hooked up yet. Let me get off this. That monitor isn't hooked up as yet. Just what are you touching with that? G'day, Eric. How are you? Eric, go and have a look on my OnlyFans channel, and you'll see what I am touching on that screen. But it hasn't been used yet, so there's no marks on it. It's still reasonably new. So I'll be able to use and control, more so in emergency, I can control the trains from there, and I can do the dispatching from there as well, and I don't have to come to the main section here. I can just sit back and enjoy and watch the show. Some of this idea that I got from this is actually from Anthony knows him, and that's Hover Motion from the UK, who does train automation. And he's actually used 3 screens and makes operations. Yeah, let me just get this up. Operations a lot more easier. Now I have. Yeah, I love you too, Eric. That's why I let you get away with it. Yeah, go and have a look at Monsbor's new video. It's taken him forever to load it up, thanks to being Telstra. As you see, I do have to somehow clean up. Hopefully the weather's going to cool down a little bit.
So now we can watch Artie watching YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, as you can see, I really haven't done nothing in here. I have not been in here literally since what is it, back to the new year. And I would like to finish, like to get it over and done with, at least a basic work. G'day, Rick's Trains. Nathan DeLay, how are you? I'd like to get leave my coffee alone. My freaking carriage. I am missing 2 of my carriages. That's all right. And I see you left your phony one behind. Yeah, and there's the other one. No wonder I can't find it in my mess. And
it's easy. I just reach across the black line and I'm pulling the cars off your.
Yeah, and I suppose you're the one that's taken my brand new Phillips head screwdriver that I only used once. The electrician's one. No, I have made up a harness.
Howdy, Rick. Howdy, Nathan.
That took a bit of doing, and I'm glad I was able to do from the outside, of course, with the harness for that touchscreen. It's got the HDMI cable, but it also has the USB cable for the touchscreen. And I had to get I couldn't get 10-foot roll or 20-foot roll. I had to get the 40-foot roll. So I'm going to have plenty that's going to go under the layout that goes from where I'm sitting now to the back corner. So what I've done with that, I've cable tied all that together. I'm still going to be putting 2 more cameras somewhere on the layout. So I've also got 2 extra USB extension cords that's going to go into the main section behind me here, so I can mount 2 extra cameras on it. Because I've got to catch up to my buddy Anthony Dodge to have as many cameras as he is. Not that I'm going to have the room.
I've heard that so many times, and nobody's caught up to me yet.
No.
Even Heath used to joke about someday I'll have as many cameras as Anthony does, but he moved on to other things, and he lost the arms race as far as cameras go.
Yeah.
And no, Nathan, I have not seen nor heard of that movie.
But it's plenty of spare. Yeah, there will be plenty of spare ones there, Monsville. Oh,
Prague is an awesome city. Prague is an awesome city. Joyce and I loved our time in Prague.
Praha. But that's for another show.
You say it the local way, Praha.
But it's hopefully it will cool down enough. I don't know how or when, but hopefully, probably towards the end of the week. But I'll get underneath and pull that cable through, and I can get the other side going. Have you got any realistic cameras or cab rides?
No, I would like one. I've got a Polaroid Q, but it's not the Wi-Fi one that I could do in my live streams. But I have done, I've got a GoPro where I run it sideways because I can't run it this way on my rails. It'll knock over trains. And if I stand it up, it hits the canopies on it hits the canopies at the Dumb and Horse station. So it has to go sideways like this. This one can sit on the front. This can sit on the front. It can go forward. The difference is I can add this one to my live streams. This one only records. It does not stream. Speaking of streaming, a week from tomorrow, I'll be at the Toledo Toy Show.
Yeah, well, there is a guy in France that does a lot of French trains modeling. If anyone's seen it, and this before I discovered his channel, where you had to stop-start animation. He actually has done some live stream with his camera on the front of a train. Now, I went and had a look at and priced it. I haven't looked at it even in Amazon. They're not cheap. The camera that he uses that's got Bluetooth and you can live stream with, JB Hi-Fi, which is our cheapest retailer nearby that the whole stocks them here in my area, I'm looking at $1,500. eBay, it's about $800-900. Not eBay. Amazon, it's about $800-900. That's a little bit steep at the moment. For $800-900, I can get to LA for $900. So no. Has anybody heard of this guy Bob System? He used to live in England. He even made a short film that he was talking about black and white. Yeah, I did see some of that, and Nathan.
Nathan, you haven't done anything to upset me or offend me. No, you asked me about a movie. I said nope. I've never even heard of it. So that was all.
Bob,
so you didn't offend me. As far as this goes, I'm just waiting to. I've got a great spiel to answer that question, but Artie's got to finish his bit.
So the guy that does the animation, the French guy that does the animation, it's a lot of the old French trains. And the way he does it, my French is bad, so I wish he had English subtitles to it.
Why do you think I have this outrageous accent?
He creates train accidents in tunnels. No, he's not using the actual models itself, but just the way he's doing the storytelling. He's got himself mock-up scenes where he makes it look like the train's had an accident in the tunnel, or the bridges collapsed, or whatever. And then he also shows how he gets his cars and that moving around. Yeah. He's done amazing work. I've got to go back and look into it. Once I get
there has been a disaster in the tunnel.
And he's got himself in a little figure, which is great now that I've got my own little figure. I will eventually get another one done of myself without the can in my hand. But he's going around and making it look as if he's going for a train ride with the diesel drive, with the train drivers, and going around on the layout. Yeah, I did do it Montreal, and I will be going eventually getting back into it. I've got to work out how to do it with this new, with Windows 10, because the computer I did it all that editing on, is gone defunct, and I need to find the drivers to get it up and going again if I have to redo it. And when you don't look, you find the USB that's got all the drivers on it for the old Windows, the XP, and all the drivers for your desktop computer. I finally found it.
Aha.
So now all I've got to do is find the parts for it. The part that I need for it the most is the cooling fan.
And here under the water, the octopus sees his prey.
So anyway, let Anthony answer Nathan's question.
Oh, he just says, where did it all begin? Well, a long time ago, there was just star stuff, and then some of it ignited, and some of it coalesced and became stars. Other colder chunks of rock began colliding, and as they collided, they created momentum, which led to spinning, and as they spun, they developed gravity, which pulled more chunks in, and the planets were developed. And then sometime after that, my mom and dad got drunk one night, and 9 months later, I appeared. And then a little while after that,
was that before dinosaur? Was that during the dinosaur period?
Just after. Just
after. Right. Okay. Sorry.
No problem. Just after. And then, but I've been on YouTube because I was using it for my students. So I've been on YouTube forever. But when I got into model trains, everybody on my channel pretty much knows the story. I was watching, I had been watching train channels on YouTube. And I had subscribed to a few channels. And then I was watching all the German channels for the German trains. And I went to, I found a channel that was in English that was doing German trains, and that was Jim from Hover Motion. And then somebody called Richard from New Junction commented on Jim, so I went over to New Junction's channel, and I would always go back and watch their first couple of videos they ever posted to see kind of like where they came from. And he did a video where he talked about why he was starting his channel. Now he's got 40,000, 60,000 subscribers, whatever Richard at New Junction has. But this is when he started, and he talked about he wanted a sense of community, that it was a very isolated and lonely hobby, and he was hoping through YouTube to meet people. And my family watched that video with me, and they said, Dad, you got to do that. Or in Joyce's case, she said, Daddy. No, she said, honey, you've got to watch. You've got to do that. Get on YouTube. So I recorded some. And so I recorded some train running videos, and then I came up with a name, and then I've just been accomplishing nothing ever since. That's about as abbreviated a story as you can get.
But we were waiting for the creamy bits.
That's only for memberships.
Oh, that's only for memberships.
The highest level memberships.
Yeah. So the cameras I got in place at the moment is the station one. Now that one there is the looking at the main section under the station, looking at the diesel and carriage facility. I got to do a bit of work in that area. And the other one that I've got is this one here, which is in the middle of the layout down the far end. But I will be putting two new. I still got to put scenery in that on it. But that will be coming in time. That's not a bad little shot, that.
Artie's on YouTube because he lost a bet.
How did I get started? Well, yeah, basically like that.
It all started with a girl.
Once upon a time. Shut up, Andy. You want to tell the story, Andy? Okay. Once upon a time, there were three bears. That
hung out at a certain type of club, because it was those type of bears he's talking about.
Yeah. And they were already in the YouTube community. Actually, no, they weren't. No, this is before I got into YouTube. I done a few little things that with my old layout with Bear Bears. Yeah, that's the one, John Benicki. Where I had the bedroom layout, because everybody said big is better, and I was just trying to show people that you can have a nice bedroom layout in a small bedroom. It was L shaped. It was 9 foot by 8 foot with 4 foot sections.
And mirrors on the ceilings, but that's a different story.
Yeah, we were getting to that one. Yeah, that was in the other room. Yeah. And the girls used to go, choo choo. Yeah, okay. So anyway, time beheld, I dropped away from YouTube for a while, and I did a lot of it on Facebook. If you go to my Facebook page, you will see that I had put some work on there, particularly with HO small layouts, and there was a couple other groups I still am a member of, but I've gone away from that because of the crap that people carry on about, and we have mentioned that in the past. With river counters, and that's not prototypical. You can't do this, so I just gone away with it. But when I got injured, back in 2020, I really didn't have much to do, and I had to find something to
Guten Abend, Eric. Wie geht's?
give myself a routine, basically, and just to socialize, because I couldn't get out. Of course, a lot of us couldn't get out. Anyway, I think they do go overboard at times, Nathan. Because when they say no, the real railroads don't do that. They don't do that. They don't do that real life, and then all of a sudden
there's nothing wrong with being a rivet counter as long as it stops with their layout or with fellow rivet counters.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, I started getting into watching a bit of live streams and some of the videos. It actually all started, and the actual person to blame for me being on YouTube, the person to blame is Rick Bailey. Rick Bailey is the one to actually blame me for getting into the YouTube like this. I had some ideas, and I was working on one of the NCE mini panels. And this is when I was still had the lower section. And just some of the things that he was doing. I mean, he was a great idea, the system. It explained it well. But he was doing things the hard way. So I come up with an easy way, which I still adopted to my layout now. And I thought and he was saying, share your ideas. So I did. And gradually I started going into Sidetrack Sunday Show. So you can then add Raybo Bell to the list of me being here. Heath, Sparky. I mean, I met Anthony here through Sparky's channel. Sparky, as you know, Nathan, like back in 2020, 21, he was getting people to come on as guests.
Oh, I did go on Sparky's once. Yeah, that's right. He did call me up once and interviewed me briefly. I was forgetting that.
Yes, that is the 44 class Todd. That's a I'm just trying to think.
I'm the Jimmy Page of Model Railways. Hot Dog Pilot Andy says he's the Jimmy Page of Model Railways. Been a long time since I man ride trains.
So, it was cross between the Sidetrack Sunday crew that inspired me to do live streaming. This guy here next to me and Sparky. And with the help with
I refuse to accept any blame for that. Oh, I'm sorry.
Greg from
Midsummer Railway, yeah.
Midsummer Railways in Melbourne, because he did start off before he got really ill. He helped me up just to get the teething problems through the learning curves. Then came along Dave from Cross River. G'day, Reg. How are you, bud? Welcome from Texas. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we say. That's what the girls say too when they're riding people's guys' backs.
Did you see Todd's question there? Just to interrupt you again, because that's what I do. I interrupt.
Yeah, that is a 44 class. That is a Trainerama's first lot of 44s. And next engine to it is a
good trains, bad trains. You know, I've had my share.
442.
My local is broken, starting to smoke, and my dealer don't seem to care.
So at the end of the day, I mean, the guys that are already in the community got me on here, and in some ways, I know probably for the views, it's been a godsend. He gave me a routine. He gave me something to do. He gave me a chance to socialise when I couldn't go out because I was restricted in going out because I just wasn't able to drive. And that got me onto YouTube. And gradually, as I was able to, I started showing my experiences, even though I had a bit of disability going on. It was you people that kept me going. It gave me okay, take care of Todd. You have a great day, bud. Have a good night.
Goodbye, Todd Armstrong.
It gave me some sort of sanity. Now, later towards last year, well, actually started beginning last year, when I was told I got to lay low. Because I didn't realise how bad it got, but the insurance company from the other party started attacking me. And attacking me in a bad way. And I had to stop. And that's why I'm not on as much and you guys not seeing me much here. I got to be careful because they're watching me a lot more than a politician at the moment. And then they twist things around. Unfortunately, I had to take a quiet, but it's only a short period. I haven't gone away. Thanks to my good buddy here next to me, Anthony, for keeping this show going because I want to maintain it. He gave me a routine. I actually look forward to coming down here, even though at times I feel like, I've got to do this. It's giving me a purpose. Once I'm on, I'm happy. You know, I have enjoyment in doing this. I do have some sort of enjoyment in this hobby when I'm with you guys. Lately, I've been having a lot of hatred because of me having restrictions, not being able to get in here. And obviously, I showed in the beginning of the stream. Getting out and about and sharing my stories and my experiences and sharing what I see is an amazing thing. I took Anthony and Joyce down on the coast, but then driving down to Melbourne. And there was a lot of stories I was able to tell them. And it was great that people are actually interested in that.
We're like that. We're good company.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And that's what made his visit so much special. Him and Joyce. They didn't come over here to see the country. They came over here to see me.
Well, we came to see the country too, but it was your invitation. See, that's another backstory. That's another movie to be made. We were debating on where to go after our trip to, we were already booking Germany for 2023. And Joyce was like, well, what are we going to do after that? And I forget how it happened. And you said on, was it my live stream or was it on your show here? And Joyce was with me and you said you could come down to Australia. And we're like, well, that would be a long trip. Joyce said, yeah, we could. And then we were roped in. There was no backing out. Joyce, I blame or thank Joyce one way or the other.
What do I mean by invitation? Sorry, I forgot what I said. Yeah, sorry, I forgot what I meant. Yeah, that's it. A lot of you guys, I do come in when I can that way. I do try to get in during Anthony's shows in the morning and a few others and such on SDS crew. The SDS haven't been on there for a while, so because the time zone difference and appointments, and at the moment I am going through a lot of appointments, and I'm missing out on a lot. And some ways I'm hating it, but I have to do what I have to do. But I'm still there. I will catch up eventually, somehow. I will. Now that I've got two monitors in the room here, while I'm running a train, I can be watching a video on another. So there you go. And in the back corner where I've got the touch screen, if I want to, I end up putting another monitor there so I'll watch the good movies. The ones that Eric was referring to. Excuse me. And I've got plenty of monitors, so I end up buying. How many do I have? I've still got another 3 spare ones. Dang. Oh, what a fiasco that was. It shows you what happens when your brain doesn't function. But Nathan, even if you do decide, you want to come down here, buddy, you're more than welcome. Yeah, more than come down here and I'll show you around the place. You guys have been more than. Oh, Eric. Yeah, probably. And it's the thing about there's a lot of people here in this community. I mean, we're worlds and miles apart, but in fact, we are there in some form for each other. In my opinion, I think my reason I would love to visit other countries, especially England, not just Canada. Yeah, well, see, Nathan, yeah, that's right. But I think what tweaked their interest with some of the things that I thrown at them when they were deciding where to go. And I just threw something in there that rang alarm bells for Joyce. And she goes, I want to see that.
Mm-hmm.
And if I remember rightly, the word that I mentioned started with the letter W. And it wasn't work, people. No, it wasn't work. Yeah. She's got one that's been crossed with a dolphin.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Okay, Steve, I'm going to get going soon too because it is getting a bit stuffy in here. Hopefully things will cool down so I can actually get back in here.
Yeah, it took me a while. What was the thing? Because, I'm like, well, there's K and there's like 4 things of K and W. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, that was, we got a chance. Let's go. Yeah. You had Joyce jumping. Rainforest was the other one. You mentioned Rainforest. Joyce was in the car before you could finish the word forest.
Well, she was at the subtropical. Now, next time when she comes over, because she wants to go to the Great Barrier Reef, and she was mentioning she wants to go to warm water up from Mackay and Airlie up in the Great Barrier Reef. The water is warm there. Don't forget the pineapple on the pizza, Reg.
Mind your words, mister.
Pineapple. What are you saying in Australia? It's common. It's common to have pineapple on our pizzas here.
Pineapple pizza.
particularly the tropical or the Hawaiian pizza, it's ham and pineapple. Why not? We've got plenty of pineapple here. Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, check out Regis Strange there, guys. I will try to check out a lot of other people's channels too. But I mean, she's going to have no excuse. Once you get up the Great Barrier Reef, she's going to have no excuse for not being going into the water. Because the water up there is warm. It's like a lukewarm bathtub. So she's got no excuse for not going into the water.
All the sharks are peeing in it up there. No, I'm sorry.
Different kinds of sharks we got up there. So those are the ones up there is the ones that we have on our dinner menu here. And they're gummy sharks, so don't have many teeth. It's the saltwater crocs we've got to look out for, but that's a different story. But still, she's going to have no excuse for not going into the water because it's going to be warm.
She'll always find an excuse.
Oh, no, she's going into the water. Up in Queensland.
Well, the next trip, she's already decided we're coming in October. Because she's saying that she's thinking that will be on her retirement. You know, we were talking about it last night on our live stream. I think she needs to retire next year, but she wants to go 2 more years. And so that would be the next year. If she goes on her schedule, she's getting her big bonus. So she's like, yeah, we're going to go down in October to Australia.
Well, when I win the lotto, the big lotto, yeah, I'll set you another trip down. But yeah, it's she's going to love up there. How much of an impact have I made? To be honest, I feel like haven't.
Well, you had a huge impact when you were doing your tin can stuff, and you got very well known through that.
Nathan, you actually made a big impact.
Mm-hmm.
More than what you realize. I actually don't get a big head over this, because I know this guy would. But I talk about your creation a lot to a lot of people nearby here. It's the things that you do out of a soda can. You know, you make a train. You get a train, you're using your imagination. That's what this hobby is all about. It doesn't have to be. It's got to have 101 rivets on the side of the thing. If it's not 101 rivets, it's not right. You create what's in your mind. You get it to run. I love that. For me, it takes me back to my childhood. Crafting, exactly, Monsville.
Yeah.
It takes me back to my childhood when we played with Rigo. And there's a good friend of mine down here. We talk about it occasionally. Her name's Jenny. We grew up since we were kids. And Legos back then, all it was half squares, or what they call them, 4 blocks, and then 8 blocks. That's all we had, plus a few little bits and pieces. I had a very basic set.
Mm-hmm.
But Jenny's brother, George, he created all these amazing spaceships and whatnot. And I tried to copy it. I wasn't as good as he was. Jenny came around because she was so jealous of it. She smashed it to pieces.
Yeah,
yeah, no.
No, I was just going to say, and Nathan, think about all the channels where you go on and you're known, where you've either been pulled up on screen to talk and have your artwork shown. You've had an impact. There are people who are impressed. There are people who have your things and display them proudly. You have that. Now, you've been on for 10 years, and you know, you're on a first name basis with a lot of big name creators on on the model train scene. So you've had an impact. But, the only thing I'll ever couch that with is if your goal, if the reason you're doing what you're doing is to gain attention or fame, there's two sides to that, because any like rock and roll bands or country music bands that say, oh, we're just in it for the music, we're not worried about anybody that forms a band. They're dreaming of getting big, they're dreaming of doing the stadium concerts. Any artist, any writer says, oh, I just love the art, I'm not worried about. We all have a sense, and some of us are honest about it. I talk about on my channel that if my channel were to ever get big, I'd want it to be for the stuff that isn't train or specifically train related. I don't want to become famous for my trains. I want to become famous for the parody songs we do or the Matt Clark stuff we do. But you've had that. You've had that where you have become known. You are an entity in this model train community. Nathan DeLay is known. So you've achieved that. The impact is you keep doing it and have other people inspired by you who then also step in and say, look, there's more to this hobby than just buying a train and building a layout, that there are things we can do regardless of money, space, time, etc. You show that in so many ways. So yes, you have had a huge impact. The key is keep going.
Yeah. I thought I'd given you a span. I'm just giving you a spanner there.
Spanner.
Nathan, you can actually share your page. You give it a moment. You can share your page with the viewers and go and have a look at his content. I mean, I love what he does. I really, really do.
Yeah, and this is, some of us know this term, some people don't, they might misinterpret it. But a lot of what he does is classified, even though it's not, it would be called trench art. Now, trench art came into being as an art form after World War I, where guys would take empty canister shells and they had nothing else, and they would make artwork in the trenches with empty shells and cannon shells and that. They would make amazing art. My grandfather did this. He brought stuff home from World War I, and he made like these little, because he was a mechanic, a fabricator. He made these tanks that he had seen, World War I tanks. He fabricated them, and it was trench art stuff, but they rolled, the cannons in them actually moved because he knew how to do that stuff. So what you do is a genre of art, and it is an art form, and you do it very well. So yeah.
Okay. So you guys should be able to share your content now. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there you go. I nodded you guys to the Wacky Weekend Club members. Yeah. But there's actually, I don't know if there is, but there might be some examples of those type of artwork that you're talking about, Anthony, up at Canberra's War Memorial. G'day there, Joyce.
Oh, what's her name, right?
Your Royal Highness, Joyce.
How Your Highness works.
Your Highness works? I know, it works all the time. We were just talking about you.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, we were just talking about you. Yeah.
Talking about trip to Australia.
Oh,
Yeah, that you're going to have to go into the water. It's going to be like being in a lukewarm bathtub.
Yeah, I won't tell you that story. Here's Nathan's page if he hasn't gotten his link up yet. I forgot to type. Here's Nathan's page, but
yeah,
even though it's coming up on yours.
Everybody, yeah, one thing I like about watching people, and I don't judge people's work. I love seeing other people's creativeness. What comes out of their mind. And the good thing about what we can do here, we can actually recreate our own miniature world the way we want our world to look at. And we can recreate it in 3D. It doesn't have to be accurate. It can be accurate if you want to, but it's accurate what's in your mind. Not my mind or his mind or anybody else, but what's in your mind. When I saw that little engine that you'd done, the first one that you'd done, Nathan, in a Conrail for Sparky, it blew me away. There might be other critics out there that go, it's a piece of shit, put it bluntly. I don't. I find it's massive creative work. Out of a soda can or something small that you created, something that looked like a train.
I don't think anybody, Unfortunately, I'm not very good at 3D. I'm only up to about 2.5D.
Yeah, we know that. So don't stop being. You're harnessing. Try not to stop being creative. Be you. This layout here is that I'm doing here. I'm trying to keep it to a certain degree of prototypical, but it's what I see in my head. What I visualize, what I would like to visualize to see my trains go through, whether it's models or real life. It doesn't have to be accurate. By accident, I can model in 12D.
And if the club you're in says leave and don't.
Well, mine's all but you. Well, look where you come from.
You on the dark side of the track. You got to go with it, and you can't worry about it. I mean, when you're an artist, I mean, and that's the thing, because the average YouTuber doesn't think of what they're putting on as art. But the minute you put it on YouTube, because people see it on their TV, they interpret it as, say, art. Now, what you do, I consider art. All right. And so, because I once had a book published and had to do book tours and stuff like that, one of the things you could tell people that are producing art is you got to have a thick skin and be ready to put up criticism. But even the thickest skin gets pierced at times. Somebody says the wrong criticism at the wrong time, and it sets you. But you got to keep going. I mean, to me, the model train world has been less about the model trains. It's been about friends. I rediscovered the passion for writing, even though what I write now is silly. The number of things I've written in the last 4 years after my book bombed in 2003 to 2005. I think my last royalty check was about 5 years ago now, so I don't think anything's been sold since. It's been I lost the desire to write, but just joking around on YouTube reignited some of that passion, and I would have never created the Matt Clark stuff, which has become in the family, regardless of who else watches it in the family. It's become a running fun thing. And it's just, you got to do you and follow your artistic vein. And as long as it doesn't hurt somebody else physically, well, my art is stabbing people in the eye. No, that's where it's no longer an art. But
we will banter and joke around. Like a lot of times there are most things that would actually plan out in the head, but there are some things we don't, which often happens. But I mean, we still don't get to the point where we can actually do physically harm, where we have to go to the emergency ward. But yeah, look, don't stop, Nathan. And just keep at it. Your work is unique. It's you.
But do it because it's what you want to do, not because you think there's an audience that wants something from you. The minute you start trying to please the audience, you lose pleasing you.
Yeah, see, with me being in this community, it's kept me going in a lot of ways. And it's basically, in some points, it's nearly as bad. It's nearly to the point as what Eric has said earlier in the comments in the show. It keeps me going. It keeps a lot of things in check. And I've met some wonderful people in person here in Australia and on the other side of the world. And that's only in a small portion in US. I hate to see what it's like in the UK. I think that's why UK has made a change their policies about the Aussies going to the UK. With me not being able to share myself and be creative, I mean, to where I was before I was forced to stop streaming. I tell you what, it's set me downhill. It literally has set me downhill. And just watching what Anthony does every week, it gives me a bit of a pickup. Don't worry about the negative critics that are on the channel. There's always going to be those people. They've got nothing better to do but to be negative. The world is full of negative people. If you don't like the show, it's like a remote control on the TV. Just go, click, change the channel. Or don't turn the thing on. If you don't want to watch it, there's a lot of things that upset you and offend you, change your channel. Here we come to joke around. Do not take offense to whatever we say. We will banter. We will joke around. We will call each other names, but it's out of fun. It's not here to do intentionally to upset people. Right. We're not here for that. If you're here to upset people, I'm sorry. Goodbye. See you later.
I'm here to upset Artie. I'm here to upset Artie. I'm here to upset you. That's my job. My job is to sit here, interrupt you, and blurt out something to see if I can disrupt your train of thought.
And you do it very well.
I am damn good at what I do. I earn my pay.
Yeah, you do.
But now, on the flip side of this,
melted.
On the flip side of this, one of the things, again, I have to say this a lot of times is it's okay to be upset too. It's okay if somebody says something that hurts your feelings. Well, I can't let people know. We always say ignore the negatives, but there's a reason there's a phrase that's called the straw that broke the camel's back. I mean, you can take a lot of crap and you deal with it how you could deal with it. But if something did upset you, don't hide it and feel like you're the bad person. Oh, well, I've upset. The thing is, you do you. You do you, which means be true to yourself. Do what you like to do. Create the art you want to create. You put it up there. And then you filter through your audience. Your people will come. Again, I talk about me because this is who I know, okay? I don't know anybody else. I talk about myself because this is who I know. And I do a live stream, and some people love my live stream, and a lot of people don't. But I do my live stream, and people gravitate to it, and some come in and hang out a couple of times and go, this isn't my bag, and they move on. But I've got some people that have been there pretty much every episode for 5 years because I haven't missed a Friday in 5 years. And the thing is, I don't change. And trust me, I get friends, Jean Ricard, if you're listening in the background, who will call and say, Anthony, I would like you to do this, or you should do this on your show. I'm like, nope, I'm going to do my thing my way. And and sometimes, you take somebody comments on your video or what you're doing and says, and sometimes it's funny, like when I sing in one of my songs, and somebody says, who told you could sing? Well, dude, like I haven't heard how bad my voice is. That's why below it says, warning, I'm singing, but usually I can respond to something like that. Who told you could sing? My mommy did. And she wouldn't lie to me, would she? It's, but the thing is, when you put yourself out there, you're going to invite a lot of love and some negativity. The thing is, as best as you can, focus on the positive, focus on the love. But again, Don't do your stuff to please other people. You got to love to do it because it's what you love to do. And if you love it, then you're good at it. Listen to me. It's not for somebody else to decide if you're good at it or not. It is for you to decide if you're good at it. If you don't think you're good at it, then improve it. But if you're happy with it, then it's beautiful as it is. You created it. Nobody else created that. Okay? Da Vinci did not make a pop can train. Okay, now you'll argue he didn't have pop cans 400 years ago. I get that, but still, you get the idea. All right, anything you create has never been created before.
It's no, it didn't have it during the dinosaur era, though.
Yeah, and understand this: just like anything you create, you yourself, you're a one of a kind. There has never been a you in the history of the universe, and I'm not just talking the Earth. I'm talking the 15 billion year history of the universe. There's only been one you. There's only been one you. You are entirely unique in the trillions of things that have lived in the billions of years of the history of the universe. You are unique, and what you make is unique.
Actually, come to think of it, it's unique, yeah. Excuse me, but there's one thing. There's one person that Nathan actually reminds me. There's one person that Nathan DeLay actually reminds me of. And that's my grandfather. Right? I don't have it. I should recreate what he did. Now, I don't know if anybody's ever seen how honey is extracted from beehives, or like from the squares or whatnot. I can't think of the English terminology. When you're extracting the honey, you got those square meshes that the honey's all inside. Now, the old-fashioned way used to be, and Granddad made one of these, but he made one out of a soda can and wood. He made a little monitor, a little model, and it was like half a can of soda. Inside the can, it was like, yeah, exactly. Screens. Thank you, Ray. Thank you, screens. Inside the actual can or the tub, you had these holders that held the screen into place, right? And that thing would have stood at nearly as high as this layout of mine. And on top of it, there was a handle. The whole idea was, with having the screens inside, you cut all the wax off the edge of it, and then the barrel would spin. And as the barrel would spin, the air that flows in through the screen, through the honeycomb, extracts the honey out. And the honey would actually go to the side and ooze its way down and comes out like grape juice out of a tap on the bottom. And Granddad actually recreated a model out of a tin can, out of a soda can. I'm going to have to do one now. But then I actually helped Granddad with that idea, and I got him a washing machine. And, whoa, did he make some honey? He made sure he had plenty of honey before he went away. But they spin the screen. My mother rents a building out to honey. Yeah. And I tell you what, nothing beats. I don't know what was better, the honey coming out of the honeycomb or the honeycomb itself. But geez, I love that. And that was the old way. And when they used to do things back in his era, they used to use whatever they possibly could to create models of what they had, whether it be a tin can, ammunition, whatever. Everybody did whatever they can. I need to get to the Cinema Railway Society up in Sydney one Monday and take some photos of some of the old carriages there that dates back to the pre-World War II, where they were made out of cardboard and fine bits of wood that was like this fine sheets that you see, you lays over your plywood. They were handcrafted because you couldn't buy Australian models. They had to make Australian models.
Oh, my favorite Australian model, Kathy Ireland.
Hey, who?
Kathy Ireland, my favorite Australian model.
Who's that? Who is she? Does your wife know about her?
Famous model turned to actors from the 80s.
Oh.
Sports Illustrated covers in America.
Oh, right.
That was the best Australian model.
The page 3 girl.
Kylie Minogue might come in a close second.
Yeah, the page 3 girl in the Sun newspaper. Yeah, okay, I'll get you. Is that what explain your absentee for that couple of hours one morning when Joyce was trying to find you but couldn't find you? You went around visiting her?
Yeah, like Joyce and I couldn't find each other. Artie, you learned firsthand. Joyce and I are attached at the hip. Going to the bathroom is awkward because we are so attached at the hip. This is about as separated as we get. I'm down here talking on the internet, and she's upstairs grading papers.
Nathan, why you still got the opportunity? Go out and look at it. Go out and explore. And that's one thing about this hobby itself in the model trains. It actually gets to teach you, it gets you out to explore some of the places. And I've heard about a lot of places, and I come across it. A lot of places in the US that I went to. I went there, but then there's all these other hidden bits behind those towns. One of my things I'm looking into doing is I want to get to Germany. I want to go to Miniature Wonderland. But before Miniature Wonderland, I have one place I really, really want to do is go through Austria and Switzerland. I want to go and ride. I want to ride those railway lines, going up and zigzagging their way and spiraling through those mountains.
I thought he was going to say the red light district in Amsterdam. And okay, good.
No, the red light district that you and Jean Ricard were talking about in Hamburg. The one that you guys are going to enjoy.
No, that one's tamed down. Oh, we didn't go there with Jean Ricard. Joyce and I visited it in 2007, 2008.
So is that why you got to Amsterdam that last trip?
What happens?
Yeah, that's explaining everything. Okay.
What happens in Hamburg stays in Hamburg. That's all I can say.
But what happens in Amsterdam doesn't stay in Amsterdam. It goes everywhere.
No, it goes to the doctor's office.
That too. That's where it starts from. Then it goes everywhere else right after that.
What happens in Amsterdam goes to the doctor's office. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm starting to sweat. I'm getting very uncomfortable in here, so I'm going to call it quits. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. Now, for the Australian viewers, is Aussie a version of the Wonderland at Artie's house?
Well, it's a miniature Wonderland. It is. It's actually great.
No, we actually did have one of them sort of
just
places.
Just look in his closets.
Right, but it's gone now. Actually, we had two. They're gone. There was one up at Beenleigh up in Sydney, which was the largest O gauge layout in the Southern Hemisphere. It's gone. And then there was another layout. Actually, I haven't seen it for a while. Near Les's place, near Grafton. But it's gone. But that shed was under the water 2 years ago. That building that we're in. I mean, it was underwater. The water was like about 4 or 5 feet above the roof. For the Australian viewers, particularly Sydney time, because the Yanks, the Americans are going to daylight savings time.
I think we just need to cut that out, but that's...
Oh, man, I just think it's confusing, particularly. No, what it needs to be done, it needs to be done American Australia needs to change the times at the same date. Simple.
Well, I think the whole world should do it at the same time. But to be honest, it's an old school thing. Nobody needs to do daylight savings time back or forth anymore. Just get rid of it and let's just stay with one standard time per zone.
Well, whatever. But for Australian viewers, because they're going ahead in time, our viewing time will be what are we at now? 12 o'clock. It's going to be 11 o'clock Sydney time. Jeez, that hurt my brain. Oh man, that's giving me a headache trying to think about that maths.
It's gonna be
Well, that's what I've been trying to figure out.
It's 6 o'clock in New York. It's 5 o'clock in Chicago. It's 3 o'clock in Los Angeles. In Baltimore, it's 5:42.
Yeah. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your support. It's been great hanging out with you. Also, next weekend, there may be a little surprise if it all works out all right. It will be on Anthony's channel. Go and check him out.
Surprise, but there might be a surprise from Artie on my show next week.
I'm daring him to wear a dress with the lipstick. Anyway, keep an eye out for the Wacky Weekend next week. Well, it's not Wacky Weekend for no reason.
Good night, everybody.
It's been Saturday there and Sunday here. That's where I got the Wacky Weekend because it's like Saturday there and Sunday here. Anthony, yeah, go with it. Thank you, Nathan. You guys have in the US have a fantastic weekend. Hot Dog Pilot Andy, I'll try to get your show tonight, my time, or in the morning for the US, or in the morning for Andy's, or lunchtime at Andy's place. Everybody, stay safe. Have fun. Stay safe.
Take care.
Take care. Bye.
Bye. Chink.